Dobbin. I'm a teacher at Trident High School. I've been there for a decade now. This is my 11th year, so this is going to be a good talk. It'll complement the others. This is me with tamariki, actually walking the talk. It's been an awesome journey. I had a year off last year, my wife and I was fortunate enough to be paid by the Eastern Bay Energy Trust, which is Trust Horizon now, to go and work with all the schools in our kahui ako at Community of Learning. So 10 schools I worked with for a year, free to the school. And that was just a really cool privilege. And so I'm so much more knowledgeable how to make the sustainable events and things happen with kids from that exercise. So I'm going to share some of that with you. I was talking to the Trustees Association last month at Tarawera High School. I was invited to talk there and I gave a presentation for an hour and a half, so I've tried to condense that into 5 minutes. So I had about 10 seconds per slide. So I'm glad you asked because you'll be exhausted after this one. It's going forwards.
Yeah. Oh. So I'll pause it.
I'm sorry, pause it.
You just point at me when you want to
go way back to the beginning.
Okay.
So this is our journey. Yeah, so what you're going to see is a lot of snapshots of our kids too. And we've won awards from ICA and all those sorts of things as well, and Chamber of Commerce and things too along the way. It looks impressive because it's been 8 years, our journey, but really we've just done it a little bit over time, organically, as we felt like it, with largely volunteer kids. So it looks good, and that's what you can achieve over time, just incrementally making a bit of progress. Our goal that we set years ago was simply this: could we reduce 40% of our energy cost in 5 years? And we did, and we've exceeded that. And as of yesterday, 2 of my kids entered our latest power bills at lunchtime. So I'm going to share that with you in a moment, and that was pretty exciting because I thought we'd done worse than we have. But our goal now, the kids defined, we want to be a sustainable school, whatever that means, energy efficient, and become resilient, so we can actually get up and function fast when needed in crises and so forth, and involve community. And we haven't involved the community yet, apart from through our kids' whānau, through talk, but we want to become a centre of excellence for sustainability and renewability and start teaching our community. That's the next extension if we can. But anyway, this is us, so next slide, thanks. This is the power bills entered yesterday. This is since we started tracking in 2011. And the blue one is energy usage, kilowatt hours, like on your power bill. How much energy did we use? And we used to be up at 450,000 kilowatt hours, which is a lot. And now we are way down here. We're getting, I'm sorry, I don't know how that happened last time. I'm used to the same slide pretty well. So we're down here approaching 250,000 kilowatt hours. It's like 200,000 less in that time from our peak in May 2012. The red one is cost. So this is when I freaked out in 2011. We're at 110 grand a year. And this was a fairly efficient school then. Oh, great, okay. So up here at $110,000 a year, and now we are approaching 60. That's a big savings, and the government doesn't take that off us. We get to spend that at school on better things, resources for our teaching and learning. So that's where we're going, and this is as of yesterday. So this is real data, and this is power bills like you have at home. This is not us making it up. And these that you'll see, these are our kids. They built, this is Shannon and Tēna, putting a solar water heating system on the main office, on the men's toilet, hot water cylinder really. And this is other kids. So next, I've got to go fast. Nandor, hi. This is the data, so there's a lot of stats on here. This is where we were down here in 2012, 110 grand, 450,000 kilowatt hours, 46 houses worth of energy we were using at Trident. Now we're 24 and a half. So we're saving 22 odd houses per annum, which is amazing. Up here, collectively, $276,000 we've saved over that time frame, and we're around about 46-47% savings now. That's huge for our school, and it's been easy. We just need a catalyst and kids that are keen, and resource the kids. Follow up on their ideas and so forth. So there we go. Next, I can share this with Caroline. You could, if you want to see this later. This is just some stuff. We've put in a lot of timers. So these sorts of timers and these ones on heaters and lights and heat pumps and so forth, all through the kids. So we come up with ideas, I post ideas, they post ideas, and over time we just do it. We find money and we just do it gradually. This is, next, yep, perfect. Lighting, we've done a lot of stuff with lighting, and actually the Ministry of Ed's just poked a lot of money into going to LEDs. And that's just completed 2 weeks ago. So we're starting to analyse the savings effect from going from fluorescent to LEDs. That will save about another $7,000 a year. Hot water cylinders, we thought we'd have about 7. We've got 1,000 kids at school at Trident, and there's about the same at Whakatane High School now. At Trident we thought we'd have about 7 hot water cylinders. 2 days ago we found our 34th. We found another one that we hadn't found before. So we found 33. We thought we had 7. Upanui, with the kids there last year, we thought we'd have about 5 maybe. We found 18 hot water cylinders. And they're all on, they're in places you don't even know. They're not insulated, the flow rates are high, the temperatures are too hot. So you just work on all that stuff. You put flow restrictors in, you wrap your cylinders, all the stuff we know, we can do it with our kids as a learning journey. And now, it seems to me, suddenly this term, we've got 23 voluntary Enviro kids. I've only ever had about a dozen. Now I've got 23, the lunchtime kids, and it's like, whoa, how do we support that? And they've all got tons of ideas, tree planting and so forth. And it really seems like there is a groundswell right now with environmental awareness. Since the climate change protests and stuff at Whakatane, we had it in the Gap, the kids wagged school and placards and stuff. That's growing. That trend is growing, and we need to resource them. Through the kids, they could really cause some big change if we can just encourage it and fuel it. Next. It's hard though, because teachers are at capacity too, so to sort of support these kids is tough. Putting sensors all over the place, lights come on when you walk in, that sort of thing. We've put in 3 solar water heating systems. Probably going to do another one in school holidays or in term 4 with one of my year 13 kids. We've put in 5 PV systems now, the solar power ones. We have solar power systems, not huge. We've got 33 kilowatts now. They never make sense financially. That is not the future for schools really, but it is in terms of education, amazing. Learning about solar PV. Schools pay so little for power, or should, some pay far too much, but when you don't pay much for power, the PVs take like 30 years to pay off. So you also have to go into things and being able to analyse what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. This is a whole payback thing that we've learned over the years. What things make really good sense. This is the solar at the bottom, like 36 years to pay for if it's got batteries, if not, because we've got on-grid, off-grid, all the different types you can imagine. Some things like behaviour, just marketing really, kids promoting teachers and kids turning stuff off. Pretty hard to manage behaviour, but it takes the talk. That's free, managing behaviour is free. The payback is just out of the ceiling, it's huge. So we shut down really well for holidays, so 12 weeks of the year we get down to almost everything is off. And that takes effort and reminding and training. And so some things are free, the coolest ones are free. I don't know how to drive this thing. But other things, solar water, and heating and timers, all those things we know, we've learned. And so we're trying to share that story amongst the schools. Okay, next. Can't remember what's next, I have to see it. Kids. So we are really proud, and we were doing this in the 10 schools, plus Tarawera and so forth last year. We're doing it through children. And we're doing it slow because of that, because you have to do it during class time, 1 hour a day or whatever. You do it at the kids' pace. No one's pushing us, it's just as we can manage. And this is just a snapshot of some of it. I really want to acknowledge, that's a good slide, sorry, that was perfect. We have not done this in isolation. None of us are successful in isolation A. We always have support when we achieve something cool. And I want to acknowledge here again that if you go out to your community, the providers in the community, and just say you have a need, oh my God, the stuff they give you, the resources, the time, the money. So the Regional Council has given us heaps of money, Eddie Sykes over the years, and Fonterra and Eastern Bay Energy Trust, of course, and Sparkies, their time, and the electricians, and the plumbers, tracks. It's just endless. Our communities are really generous when it comes to kids and schools, if you just let them know. So that's been really, really awesome as well. Next. If you look at your power bills, this is the one thing that drives us mostly. You know, why do some schools, when I was working in the Kahuiako last year, why do some schools pay up around 24, 25 cents a kilowatt hour, and some are paying 14? The same, you know, this should all be, everyone's paying a cheap rate. So I attended for all those schools last year with 15 retailers, and now our Nova is the cheapest, finally, which is good. So we've moved, a lot of the schools have moved to Nova. Schools spend a lot on lighting, and so it's been cool that the Ministry of Ed this year has invested quite a lot in lighting. We're just analysing the results of that. We spent a lot on heating and so forth. We've worked out ways, no, we'll just let it run now because time must be about up. Worked out ways of teaching kids about lights. And, you know, what are inefficient, like you'll have a lot of these incandescent bulbs that Thomas Edison invented in 1880. You'll have them in your house because they're cheap but they're really expensive to run. The LEDs are 10 times cheaper to run. And so the same in our schools. A lot of our schools, particularly the lower decile schools, like when I was out working with Aaron at Paroa, a lot of incandescent bulbs in the ceiling, and just changing those to LEDs, and the kids can do that stuff. It's just so cool. Heating, inefficient heating, radiant heaters versus heat pumps, and so forth. So we've worked out ways that the kids can run around the school and actually on a spreadsheet. Even year 4s can work on Google Sheets. It's amazing. And work and go and do energy audits of their own school. Don't pay for a consultant to come in for huge money. Let the kids do it. The data's a bit, you know, a bit interesting at times, but it's, it comes out with their data, and it comes out with their ideas, and then you put their ideas to the principals, and then the principals endorse it. They say yes or no or yes, and then we find some cash, and then they just do it. It's really cool. It's a good plan. This one is shutting down. Oh my God, 12 weeks a year the schools don't run. But they just all go home for the holidays without turning anything off. So having that fun, the last hour of the day, run around and turn the electricity off is a huge savings. Trident's about $1,700 a year just from that. If you could hold it on this one, this is cool. This is 2 days ago. There are, like your homes, if you've ever had a plumber or a sparky or a builder or wormolds or a fire security people up on your ceiling, you ought to go up, HRV. TVs, you ought to go up there, and because they will have done their job like this wormolds one and removed all your insulation to do their job, and they will never put it back. I guarantee you, if you've had someone up there, it'll be a mess. So go back and put your insulation back down. So I was up in this ceiling actually 2 days ago with a kid, and we put some insulation back. Most of our classrooms don't have polythene on the ground, moisture barrier. They're not well insulated. It's typically like that, or not at all, and so they're damp, smelly, and so insulating rooms, we haven't even started investing in that yet. We're hoping with the Ministry of Ed contestable fund right now to get some money to insulate some of our rooms. So this is walking the talk with energy efficiency and sustainability, eh? This is what it looks like. You get your hands dirty. You're up in ceilings and underfloors, and the kids, it's learning through play. Primary education now is learning through play, tactile stuff. This is amazing, and you could learn from the kids what we're trying to teach with our kids. This was a brainstorm recently of those 23 kids that have turned up at lunchtimes. Some of the ideas are mine or historical ones from our Enviro kids over the years, but half of these are new ideas from the kids that are rocking up around lighting and heating and waste management and awareness, and all this sort of plastic recycling is starting to happen now through the children, which is really cool. Next. Is there any next? Yeah, there is. Money. There is a lot of money. It seems to have dried up a little bit post-COVID, but these organisations that have been giving us funds, these are real dollars, and that has really enriched our teaching and learning programs. So having cash, unfortunately, is a necessary thing to do a lot of this stuff, and but there are funds around for schools to use. We are starting to learn about the school curriculum. There are credits for, the senior kids. There are credits around now for us to map a lot of that work on, that environmental sustainable work onto, to give the kids credit as well, so they can pass. So that's cool. So we're just exploring that now. I'm trying to work with Allendale to sort that out. Even the Board of Trustees at Kutareri School contacted me a couple of weeks ago and want me to go in there and teach them about how to get a curriculum going. And it'll be like, oh God, we'll learn together. because this is all new. These are just some ideas that we've come up with. What else should we do? It's endless. It never actually stops. This energy efficiency, sustainability thing, it's not a discrete thing. It's not like you get there. It's like it will endlessly become better and better. Next is, I'll just leave you with that last one. This was something I did with Ōpōtiki Primary School a couple of months ago. They asked me up there, the Board of Trustees, and so, and I wrote them a book for that one, but this one is, what would a sustainable school look like? And this is where a school could start. What is one anyway? It's so esoteric. But imagine putting your house or your school in a bubble and saying, well, nothing should be coming in or out, except maybe the tamariki and a couple of teachers. But you shouldn't be bringing fresh water in. We should be rainwater harvesting. You shouldn't be sending your sewage out. That could actually be treated on site on the field. The stormwater, we shouldn't be sending that out. What about the recycling? At Trident, most of it goes in a skip bin to landfill. So just think here, and what about food? Why don't we grow food in the school? We do a little bit, but not much. And just think of everything being self-sufficient. That's our dream for our schools, and if we resource it, we can achieve.